Hello, welcome to this update. Today we will be talking about many parts of the world, mostly the whole world, just to make a recap about everything before Christmas. But before that recap, we have an urgent weather update to share with you. They now have a lot of flash flood potential for the western US. There's a trough around bringing a lot of moisture to parts of California on these coming days, and there's the potential for flash flooding many days. Starting today, there's a marginal risk. Tomorrow, there's a slight risk further south, affecting Los Angeles already. Day 3 is the most concerning one. There's a moderate risk for flash flooding 3 days out already. So this could stay the same, it could be upgraded, or it could be downgraded. But for now, a moderate risk in an arid place like that could cause a lot of flash flooding. And Los Angeles is partially in that moderate risk. So warn anyone you know there, and be aware in those areas. Day 4 has a marginal risk up into Arizona, the northern parts of Mexico, and the desert of California, because the moisture will start moving in that direction. Day 5, there's nothing to say. But be careful in day 3, it'll be very dangerous. So let's check some models now. First, the GFS. It has all this moisture around the coast of California, a lot there in the coast, and then it goes towards Arizona and New Mexico. Let's try Dero now. It has a lot of moisture already, and more moisture coming towards the coast in Los Angeles and those places. It could get heavy, and the moisture persists for some time there and moves into Arizona. So there could be flash flooding in many occasions in those places. So be aware of that and be careful. Now let's just take a look how the entire North America is doing in terms of snow, rain, and everything in these coming days. And this is just a forecast. It can change, of course. Don't worry. We'll keep you updated. But let's take a look. This is moisture. Let's check the GFS. See if we can get some other charts here. So let's see snowfall, just to have some ideas. Let's see. There's some snow for the mountains of California expected. Some snow for parts of the Northwest is possible. And maybe around the Northeast in some occasions, but that's kind of far out still. Let's see what else. Accumulated precipitation. Let's see. Many for parts of northern Mexico and Arizona, and because of the system there in California, and more around Texas and some regions there. It could get wetter towards Christmas in the southeast, like Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, those places. It will be very below average temperatures and wetter, more rain around. So if you have more questions of North America, please ask us. And Canada might have some snow in many places and some rain too, and there's still some rain ongoing parts of Atlantic Canada from that system and wind there. So let's do the recap of the Southeast Asia and Pacific now, see if any cyclones are expected. So first there's the remnants of 18W, of Tropical Depression 18. They are lingering there. They caused a lot of rain around the Philippines, and there's just the remnants there. still bringing heavy rain to some areas. This might bring some heavy rain towards parts of Malaysia and other places there. Some models try to reform this, but I'm not sure that will happen yet. So what else do we have here? We have an invest also in the Western Pacific, 92W. This has still a low chance of development, but some models form this, but nothing getting too concerning with this at the moment. So just so you let you know here, but there's nothing concerning about it. They also mark as an invest the area in the Bay of Northern Australia that it's a disturbance now. I don't expect this to turn into a cyclone anytime soon, but you still bringing heavy rain to Northern Australia. So be aware, Northern Australia, with wind and heavy rain. Now let's see. They say there are some other invests here, but it's nothing too crazy. So let's see now Europe. If there's something significant in Europe during the next few days. I don't think so. It shows more rain around Turkey and Israel and those areas, but not a lot of rain, but there will be some rain. And more rain parts of France, not heavy, but there will be some more rain. And it shows a low pressure entering through Norway there and bringing more rain to Poland and Germany and those areas. So let's take a look at the GFS here, how it has for Europe. It has some moisture around those same areas there. So if this gets heavy or complicated, we'll keep you updated. Let's see if I can find any snowfall charts here. It shows snow for the Alps, of course. In Norway, there are a bunch of avalanche warnings there. So some snow for the Pyrenees and more areas there. But no cataclysmic snowstorm. But it is showing some more snow around southern Poland and Czech Republic there. So there can be something there. We'll keep you updated. And I'm checking for other parts there of southwest Russia. There could be snow in parts of Turkey, but we'll keep you updated on that. Let's take a look at Asia now, how the things are doing. First, some precipitation. Let's see. Let's start with the GFS. It has some rain there in parts of Western Asia and some for Russia, and also snow for parts of Russia there. But no cataclysmic rain event or anything like that on the horizon. So I don't think there's nothing very crazy for Asia. Let's check Eastern Asia now. Let's see the GFS and then check if the Euro has something. They have more rain in parts of Japan. That could be snow as well. And more heavy rain towards Malaysia. And because of that, those remnants of the cyclone there. This is even trying to get into the Bay of Bengal later. But there will be some very heavy rain in those regions of Malaysia and everything, so be careful with that. Let's just see if the Euro has something. Basically that around Vietnam there can be more rain, in the Philippines. So always with heavy rain. Be careful with flash floods, always when you have heavy rain. So let's check South Africa now with GFS first. Let's see. In Madagascar and places like that. So it has some rain around Madagascar and around the islands there. In fact, they even had some rain warnings yesterday. So there can be more rain warnings around those islands in the next few days. It shows more rain towards Central Africa, Malawi, parts of South Africa too. So I'll always be careful for flash floods in those rains. Let's now check how Northern Africa is doing. It's mostly doing dry, but let's take a look. Some rain around the Mediterranean there, near North Africa. The most rain is below this map in Central and South Africa. So I don't think there are anything significant there. Now let's see if India has something. There were some heavy rains around these days. Some rains continue through the Maldives, and this model even showing 1 point of very heavy rain for the Maldives. So be careful with that. Around Sri Lanka too, there are some rains. For India, northern India, Bangladesh is mostly dry, but there can be some heavy rains. But the Indian Ocean area is getting more active, so there can be flash flooding in those islands in many occasions. So be careful. So now let's see some other place. Let's see Australia, just to have some ideas. Let's use the euro now. So some heavy rains still around northern Australia and more towards the area of Sydney and eastern Australia there. Some rains persisting to eastern Australia. And don't forget the heat wave in many regions. If you are in a heat wave, stay hydrated and be careful. Let's take a look around the Middle East. And if I'm going too fast with these things, just tell me in the comments and I'll specify for your region and answer your questions. Let's see. Let's check with the euro. It's mostly dry there, but remember those rains I said that could be around Turkey, so they could affect some parts of Israel there and Turkey and other places there, but no big weather story for the Middle East. But now South America has some bigger weather stories. Let's see. A lot of scattered rains and storms around Brazil, so it'll be a rainy week for many people in Brazil. There can be thunderstorms, heavy rain at many points, so be careful in those heavy rain occasions in South America for flash flooding or other hazards. But Argentina is looking better than it did last week with those catastrophic storms that hit around Buenos Aires last weekend or something like that. It's looking better, but there can be some scattered rain around Argentina too. But most rain will be around Brazil there. So let's see if there are any more regions missing. The Southwest Pacific, let's take a look. So it has some rain there in eastern Australia and some around the islands there, those easternmost islands, and more rain to the north of near Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea. So these are mostly seasonal and tropical rains, but that there can be hazards associated. So be careful. It has some rain for New Zealand, but not anything big. So let's see if we are missing some regions here. Let's check the North Pacific just to see the general pattern. Let's put the GFS now. Let's see. It has that trough near California, more oceanic storm systems around Alaska, so always be careful in Alaska with rain and blizzards and stuff like that. But these systems are mostly affecting the western coast of Canada, so it can be very wet and snowy and windy in the western coast of Canada. And this is just a forecast, so this can change everything. And it has more low pressures around the Pacific, and nothing too big, but these troughs can always cause some stuff. So be careful, and if you have any questions there, tell me. Now let's check the Caribbean, if there will be something for these days. I will go with the Euro for this one. So there's still some rain around Hispaniola from the end of the front, and some rain around the Central Caribbean there, but nothing big, but some rain could affect Costa Rica and the Eastern Caribbean islands there. So always be careful for some flash flooding that's possible in those showers. And it has, check here, there's some rain around some areas, but nothing too crazy, but always be aware of flash flooding and stuff like that. Let's just see the tropical Atlantic. I know it's not hurricane season anymore, but let's just see how the rain is doing. So there's some rain around the ocean like that, but nothing big. He has some occasional showers around the Canary Islands, but nothing too crazy. Let's see. Let's just take a final look at Southeast Canada with the remnants of that system there, still bringing some rain and wind. So it shows heavy rain still for some areas, and be aware there. So I think this is it for this update, and thanks for watching. If you have any questions about some countries, if you didn't understand and want me to explain in another language or anything else, please ask us in the comments, and stay safe and warn others about these events. So and check our other channel in the description, because there we will be posting some flash flood warnings and stuff for the western US, and we will also post all the other weather warnings we can find for the rest of the world when the warnings are happening. So check there if you want to stay more informed. Thanks for watching. One more thing, I just remembered it. Better not leave it out of the video. There it shows another low pressure system affecting the Azores Islands in the next few days, and there were some rain warnings these days around there. So be aware in the Azores Islands of some rain. This is just a forecast, it can change, but it might rain there a lot, so be careful. Thanks for watching again.